Hey guys, this is KV from Ridezilla. I'll be walking you through all the modifications that I did for my Interceptor on my Interceptor 650. I have an Orange Crush Interceptor 650, and intention is to let everyone know what I did over the last 2 years to make the bike perform better and what really happened. Did the bike perform well or not? That's a different story, but I will just walk you through, what are the modifications that I did over the last 2 years of my ownership. Overall, I am very happy with the motorcycle, and it's a perfect machine on the Indian roads. Although I would like to upgrade to something else, but I feel that it's a nice motorcycle for us from an Indian road conditions perspective, and it does what you want her to do with a very relaxed engine and a good power and torque curve. So here goes. So this is my Orange Crush Interceptor. You can see I've done a lot of modifications on this motorcycle, including the tires, the handlebar, and everything else. So I'll do a step by step on what all changes I have done to the motorcycle. So as soon as I bought it, I found that the motorcycle was tad bit heavier than I would like it to. So the first change that I did was I moved removed the stock exhaust and added these grease house end cans. Now grease house or ND Motard, they claim that they are they give probably a 9 HP increase. I don't believe that completely, but uh, I do believe that they sound really nice. I have another video which actually has the sound of those exhaust and cans. They sound really nice. They're loud in a closed environment, but on the highway they sound perfect. Um, Although on long drives, I do believe that they get a bit more noisy inside the helmet, and I was just thinking of going back to stock exhaust just for the sound reduction. So this was the first change that I did to the motorcycle, went for the exhausts. The next change that I did was the seat. So if you look at this is not a stock seat for the Interceptor. This is something that I got custom made from Power Seat Covers in Nanapet. They did a fabulous job. Although now what happened is I had to sit on, like, the seat height increased because of this seat. There was this additional cushioning on top of it. The seat is really comfortable, uh, and also for the pillion I made an effort for the wife to be able to sit because of the screwed up dynamics or screwed up ergonomics of this rear set foot peg or the pillion foot peg. And then it was an attempt, but I don't think it worked really well. But for me, for the rider, it worked really well. The seat works well. But then what happened was, as a side effect, the stock handle really went down. So I tried with risers, but instead of the risers, then I actually installed this handlebar from Art of Motorcycles. So this really gave me an upright sitting position on the handlebar, and this was really nice for me to do long tours. So if you can see on my other videos, the first person shoots that I did on my GoPro, you can see this handlebar being used as well. So this gave me a really perfect sitting position with an upright stance. This is what it is. Then there are other minor modifications, but I'll go with the major ones. The other modification that I did was install way to speed sprocket. I think the stock sprocket was 38 teeth, and the way to speed sprocket is 40 teeth. So this basically improved the acceleration, although you have to do away with the top end. So the top speed of the bike decreased, but the acceleration is mind-boggling. But I'm thinking of going back to stock because I found that during touring, the engine reaches the red line or crosses the power band quickly, but doesn't cross, but doesn't give me that top end that I would like to do when cruising. So the stress on the engine increases. So I was just thinking of going back to stock sprocket. Uh, let's see what happens. Then went ahead and bought these saddle stays from Zana. They work really well. I use the Viaterra saddlebags. So they work really well, although they don't have a stay in between. So these have a tendency to bend a bit during the ride, but I think they work pretty well on this. And then also the Zana backrest for the pillion, but I really don't travel with a pillion, so I have not tested it out yet. The wife is not comfortable again doing this, so I really don't know how to go about it. I'll probably go with a front set foot pegs that are offered by either Way to Speed or someone else. So this is another modification. The backrest basically helps me to tie my saddlebags well and they don't fall off. So this worked really well for me, although not for the pillion because probably the ergonomics were screwed up because of the height of the seat, the position of the pillion foot peg and the backrest. So I don't know what exactly is happening here, but she is not comfortable. So we just need to do something about it. And if I upgrade, then it's going to be a completely different story altogether. Then the next thing that I did was actually install the Carbon Racing windshield. This is a kick-ass windshield. This is, I think, the light brown color. The fit and finish is nice. The stays that they have provided are nice, and they hold up pretty well, even in strong winds or even in bad roads. I haven't had any issues with them. If you want a good windshield, you can go for the Carbon Racing windshield. The angle is like this. I've set it like this, but it's, I think, pretty much good. It does reduce the wind that is directed towards your chest and probably moves it more towards my helmet. So I just need to figure out what needs to be done for that windshield. I mean, either remove it completely or what. But this time round, when I was traveling and there were a lot of crosswinds during my Dhanushkodi ride, uh, I was thinking whether the windshield is really doing its job or adding more drag, because I was actually changing lanes because of the crosswind, even on the Interceptor with my weight and the weight of the bike and the luggage weight as well. So was it because of the windshield? I don't know. If I need to test in the crosswinds after removing the windshield. I don't know how that works, but this is just my guess. There's nothing against the windshield. It works pretty well up to speeds of 100, 120, post which there is a lot of wind buffeting that I'm getting. Ignore this bent clutch. I dropped the bike, and that actually speaks of the quality of material that RE has used. The clutch lever didn't break, it just bent, and I'm using a bent clutch lever ever since. My bike needs service, and I'm waiting for my friend to give me an appointment in his workshop. uh, After the Carbon Racing windshield, I did install these Mad Dogs. Oh man, my bike needs cleaning. Sorry guys, but I just had a nice long ride, so there's a lot of dust on it. But the Mad Dog headlights, they work really well, and I use these Way to Speed mounts. It's a single piece mount. It's like an S or like a boomerang mount that is there, and it works pretty well. The focus on these lights, on these Mad Dog lights, works well. I don't remember the model number, but hey, I mean they work really well along with the stock headlight. The stock headlight is nothing to talk about, so I had to install the Mad Dogs. The another thing that I did, if you look here closely, so I have Way to Speed progressive springs installed. Way to Speed progressive springs installed with their with their oil. It works pretty well, especially because of the rider weight. That my weight, I weigh almost 100 kgs, and because of my weight, the suspension used to bottom out. But with way to speed progressive springs and preload adjustment on this, uh, it has worked pretty well. It doesn't bottom out. It behaves well even in twisties. I love twisties, but it behaves really well in the twisties, and I am loving it. So thank you, Melvin, for I think two critical pieces that I bought from you. One is the front progressive springs, and the stay that I have, and the sprocket. So I enjoyed every bit of it, uh, and it worked really well. And then I think I also bought these spacers. I think they are from Motomind or Moto Asher. I don't remember the name of the company. Someone knows this, please leave in a comment. I don't remember that. This is specifically because I installed Ralcos. My Pirellis gave in, the stock Pirellis, they were 10,000 kilometers old, so they gave in, and I didn't have much confidence in them. So I installed the Ralcos. I have used Ralcos in my FZ25 earlier. So these are the Ralco Speed Blasters. They work really well. They give better surface when I am traveling on rough roads, and they instill a lot of confidence. They have a good speed rating as well, and they're working fantastic. I mean, I love the Ralcos over anything else. They're just fantastic. Then I bought the EBC brake pads because my brake pads had worn out at around 8,000 odd kilometers. So during the last service, I installed the EBC brake pads that I bought. I think I bought them from Bike and Biker. And then this is, I think, Zana thing. This grill, I loved it. Gives a nice look to the bike. And I just love it. So it is nice. I want to do away with the flash. Something's wrong. Anyways, forget it. So okay, yeah, there goes. Yeah, the flash is off. Yeah, then the next, I think, important thing that I did was install a BMC air filter. So that is right here. I cannot open it. A BMC air filter goes there, and then the most important thing that I did was I also installed the booster plug from Way to Speed again. So a lot of things from Way to Speed have gone into this bike. The booster plug works really well, especially after 4,500 RPM, when you feel that the bike is taking forever and doesn't give you as much power as it gives between 2,500 or 2,000 and 4,500 RPM. I think you get a slightly better acceleration even in the higher rev range. This is again seat of the pants. I don't have any dynos to test it, but I found that it accelerates well beyond. Okay, another important thing I did was the company setup comes with tube type tires, and the Ralcos support the tube as well as tubeless. So I went in for Way to Speed. Oh, this video looks like a advertisement for Way to Speed, but it isn't. This is me, but this is just the modifications that I did and which are working pretty well. But yeah, Way to Speed, Melvin again came to the rescue. He provided with the tubeless conversion kit. He has those injections that are available, adjusted the or rather tightened the spokes and installed the tubeless kit, and I am happy ever since. You don't have to keep watching out for bad roads and worry about punctures anymore. And it works pretty well, although some amount of balancing is required after the after the weight tubeless kit is installed. So that's again another important thing that I did. So overall, all of these modifications rendered the bike really usable compared to stock. The stock seat was a bakda, and it gave me lower back pain, but this one is amazing. And the only thing I think I can complain about is the tank range. Like riding at 120 130 kilometers per hour, I get like 220, 240 odd kilometers in the tank. Someone in the group, in the RE Twins group, has actually, increased the tank capacity by modifying the tank. I think it was Mr. Shivaji Sawant, but I need to find another tank and get it widened, or somehow increase the tank range to say 17 liters or something more than that, and then figure out. But overall, I am happy with the bike. Uh, these are the modifications that I did, and I'm happy with those. Although I might go back to some stock settings, like probably the end cans will go because of the sound, only because of the sound. Otherwise, I love them. I might not take them off, but I'm just thinking, because they do reduce the weight of the bike by almost 6 or 7 kgs and make it more tractable when you're moving it from standstill. So that is something that is good from this perspective, from a weight management perspective. But I will definitely go back to stock sprockets during the next service. That is something that I would love to do and check out how it performs, especially because now I have installed a booster plug, and this might actually reduce the lag that I used to feel earlier when I had just the end cans and the stock sprocket, and the bike used to be a little laggy in terms of power. The lower some notification came and on the phone. So the low end had taken a hit, and I think that the booster plug should solve that issue. So I might think of going back to the stock sprocket, so it gives me a better top end. But I think that's about it from my bike modifications perspective. Uh, nothing else to talk about. I don't know whether this is a wild boar or just a dukkar that has come to see my bike. Really funny. But I'm shit scared. No, I'm not scared. It's just a normal dukkar. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and keep coming back for more. I'll probably cover some more, uh, some more videos which actually list down the test rides that I have taken to buy a bigger CC bike for myself. Let's see how it goes. Thanks, and keep watching. Bye.